DiJonai Carrington is looking around the room like, oh my God, I've never been in this much fire. I mean, it's getting so bad that now her endorsements are potentially about to pull out on representing DiJonai Carrington.
This just goes to show that DiJonai has no self-awareness in what's going on. DiJonai Carrington runs on threads immediately. White privilege at Indiana Fever. White privilege. You running around with blonde hair. It looked like you trying to be white. It looked like you trying to be a white girl. What are you talking about, white privilege? The white girl just got a technical foul for something she didn't even do. What are you talking about, white privilege, bro? This is why she should be banned from the league. They always run.
It states here, Reebok is reportedly dropping their endorsement for DiJonai Carrington after she attacked Sophie Cunningham. Let's go.
Welcome back to the Clark Update. Today, I'm bringing you another major WNBA story, and there's a lot to unpack. Stay with me until the very end as we go through what happened, the latest reactions, and what could come next. So, without wasting any time, let's get right into today's story. In just 1 week, DiJonai Carrington has seemingly watched her entire career begin to unravel. What makes this situation even more surprising is that many of the problems appear to have been caused by her own decisions. This isn't a story about the league unfairly targeting a player or a referee simply making a questionable call. Instead, it started with a hard foul that could have easily disappeared from the headlines after a single news cycle. However, because of the choices Carrington made in the hours and days that followed, the situation quickly became much bigger. Before we continue, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 90% of our viewers still haven't subscribed. It's completely free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us and helps support the channel. So, have you subscribed already? If you have, thank you so much for your support. Now let's get back to the video.
This young lady got ejected from a WNBA game the other day for a flagrant foul on Sophie Cunningham. Did y'all see that? She got ejected from the game for that flagrant foul right there. And I'll be damned if that wasn't a flagrant too. She mugged her. Damn near came across like decapitating her, for crying out loud. That was definitely a hard foul. Make no mistake about it. Nobody can argue about it. You can say what you want. We know what we saw. No way around it. The DiJonai Carrington foul was clearly unnecessary. It was a flagrant foul penalty too. It was absolutely positively correct call. It was called the flagrant two. That's a flagrant two every single damn time in the NBA and the WNBA.
This was the moment when DiJonai Carrington had a decision to make, and she appeared to make the wrong one almost immediately. Just minutes after being escorted off the court, before she had even reached the locker room, Carrington took to social media and directly referenced the Fever in a post about white privilege. With little context or explanation behind the message, the situation quickly became connected to a much broader national debate surrounding transgender athletes and women's sports. Carrington then shared the date of the next Sky Fever matchup along with a smiling emoji, which many people interpreted as more than an innocent post. To critics, it looked like she was deliberately provoking the situation rather than simply making an accidental comment.
White privilege from the locker room of a game that she was playing in. Get this, she fouls Sophie Cunningham hard. Sophie Cunningham, obviously a white person, fouls her hard. Flagrant two, gets ejected, goes to the locker room and tweets out white privilege in the middle of the game. Now here's the kicker to me. A flagrant two has to be contact that can lead to an injury that looks excessive. DiJonai, it was about as excessive as possible. If there was any evidence of there being white privilege, this was not.
Take a moment to look at how this entire sequence appeared to the public. When a player commits a serious foul, an ejection can follow. But instead of taking a step back, cooling down, and allowing the situation to settle, Carrington appeared to suggest that she and her team had been punished because of race. In the days that followed, she would go on to offer 3 different explanations for what happened. However, once a serious accusation like that is made publicly, even indirectly, it can have lasting consequences. No matter how much you try to clarify or explain it afterward, you can't completely take those words back.
Privilege, to be totally honest with you, because her posting this white racist comment right after assaulting Sophie Cunningham on the court is actually black privilege, because she knows the WNBA won't do a single thing of significance about it. And imagine if the roles were reversed. If Sophie made a comment similar to this, then she'd likely never play again. And actually, we just saw this from Coach Sandy Brondello. She got disciplined for making, I believe, a pretty innocent, maybe, offhand comment about talking about Angel Reese and saying that she's a protected species. She was suspended and disciplined.
The post didn't stay contained for long. Within just a few hours, it went viral across basketball social media, completely changing the focus of the story. What had initially been a discussion about a hard foul quickly turned into a much bigger debate about race, intent, and whether Carrington was using a serious accusation to distract from what some viewed as a dirty play. Music. At that point, basketball itself was no longer the main focus of the conversation.
Our PR strategy to attract eyeballs, or is the WNBA fundamentally broken?
No. That's you because you're a good person trying to find some kind of rational reason for doing this other than what it is. It's pure and simple racism and hate. They're mad that the best player in the league is a heterosexual white woman. Let's just be honest. She's not one of the confidants in their creed. And so therefore it's been a concentrated effort to go after her. Even her head coach doesn't stand by. So, and I think it's hilarious, and at the same time, they don't know what a woman is. And I'm very proud of Freedom and the other gentlemen for finding out who they are. And I wish them the best. And hopefully the league will, since it's an all tolerant league and their head coaches wear shirts about trans women count. Well, here's two. And I hope they give them their opportunity and the young lady in France as well. So I think it's a league that has got away with being racist and disgusting to people. And now Americans are smart to it. So hopefully they get some of their own, but
A prominent sports commentator addressed the post on his own program. He pointed out the obvious sequence of events. You struck her in the head. You started the bleeding. You didn't touch the ball at all. He argued that describing the foul as a product of white privilege was extremely foolish, even calling the framing moronic in his own words. In sports media, that kind of criticism carries serious weight. Just days after being ejected, a WNBA player was being labeled uneducated and foolish on television. This wasn't simply some random internet troll looking for attention. Carrington's judgment was being questioned in front of a massive audience by someone with a legitimate platform. And when a clip like that goes viral, the soundbite can follow a player for much longer than the original foul ever would have on its own. This was the point where DiJonai Carrington attempted to walk back her original comments. However, the way she handled the explanation only created more confusion. She encouraged people to use their critical thinking skills and pointed out that she had studied psychology. Carrington insisted that she would never use a term like that as a rhetorical weapon without evidence. She also argued that she was the furthest thing from uneducated on the subject, pointing to her education at Stanford. At the same time, she defended her right to use the phrase, criticized the person who had condemned her, and maintained that she never intended the comment in the way people had interpreted it. The result was far from clear. Almost nobody seemed satisfied with the explanation. Music, because it came across as confusion disguised as confidence. Neither the people criticizing her nor those trying to defend her seemed completely convinced. If anything, the controversy had now grown beyond the original incident. Fans who might have been willing to give Carrington the benefit of the doubt after the foul itself began turning against her. To many viewers, it looked less like she was trying to clear up a misunderstanding and more like she was attempting to win an argument that she may have already lost the moment she posted that first message.
Paying attention to what DiJonai Carrington did to Sophie Cunningham, it was not a race-based decision. And to call that a white privilege-based foul is to completely undermine the term of white privilege and to also completely ignore the rules in basketball. You hit her in the head, you drew blood, you didn't connect with the ball at all whatsoever. So to me, it was just very ignorant and to some degree asinine by DiJonai Carrington to suggest that that call was based on white privilege. Have we seen examples of white players make that same foul and get away with it? Yes. Have we seen examples of black players make that same foul and get away with it? Yes. There was no white privilege involved in that specific call. DiJonai, you hit her in the head and you drew.
2 days later, Carrington appeared to offer a third version of her explanation while speaking to the media ahead of Chicago's game against Seattle. This time, she pointed to Reese's return from a foot injury as a factor in the timing and described the foul itself as regrettable and unintentional. However, when the conversation turned back to the original post, she once again became vague. Carrington simply said that she had already spoken with people who had the authority to make the changes she wanted, but she never clearly explained who those people were or what she actually meant by the tweet. So, in the span of just 3 days, there were 3 different explanations. Meanwhile, the widely shared post about white privilege appeared to have no obvious connection to the foul itself, leaving even more questions that had yet to be answered.
Game for the rest of the season counts. And the fact that she let her hate and her ego cost the game for her entire team is so toxic. It goes to show that she has very little respect for her teammates because they all work their absolute asses off. They've all got something to prove. They know that, they started the season with all this hype. They didn't kick it off very strong. And so they have all been working their asses off, coming together, playing patiently. When I say patiently, they've been playing patiently, learning how to actually run the court together. A lot of new pieces. There's been some injuries. There's been people returning from injury. There's been a lot of changes. The fact that they were just on the rise, and as a Fever fan, I can say they were actually schooling us in the first quarter. They came back when we were up 8 points. DiJonai herself was balling out, and she just cost the game for her teammate.
Sophie Cunningham, meanwhile, did something that made Carrington's situation look even worse by comparison. She remained calm and composed. After Indiana's victory, Cunningham was asked directly about the controversial post. Her response was straightforward. She explained that she believed the league was already addressing the situation and that race had nothing to do with what happened. She also pointed out that she had been ejected following a similar incident the previous year and accepted the punishment because she knew it was deserved. In her view, there was simply no reason to bring race into the conversation. It was a subtle but important reminder that Cunningham had previously been on the other side of a controversial foul and accepted the consequences without making a public spectacle. There were no angry outbursts, no demands, and no attempts to shift the conversation elsewhere. Sponsors and franchises pay close attention to moments like this, especially when the contrast is so obvious. One player appears calm and measured, while another seems to struggle to provide a consistent explanation after giving 3 different answers. At that point, the question is no longer simply about who was right or wrong on the basketball court. It becomes about who can handle pressure and who appears to be making a difficult situation even worse every time a microphone is placed in front of them. After that exchange, Cunningham came across as the more composed and responsible person in the room. Carrington, meanwhile, appeared to leave the situation looking even less certain about how to explain what she had said or what she truly meant.
From the game, but says it wasn't about the foul. Can you explain this?
No, I can't. When she tweeted white privilege, she did it so quickly, it was almost as though she had the phone in her pocket after this foul and she got ejected. So, to say she wasn't referring to this play or getting kicked out and saying that the only reason she got kicked out and it got upgraded is because Sophie Cunningham is white is crazy. It was a crazy thing to tweet, maybe crazier than to try to act like it had nothing to do with the play. So I have no idea what she's talking about. I don't think anybody can have any idea what she's talking about.
This brings us to the part of the story where DJ Carrington's livelihood could genuinely be at risk. Carrington became one of the faces of Reebok's basketball relaunch alongside the J sneaker after signing a multi-year endorsement deal with the brand in April of last year. The partnership came after she earned Most Improved Player and All-Defensive First Team honors, making the deal a major milestone in her career. At the time, it positioned Carrington as one of the WNBA's rising commercial stars heading into the new season. However, once the controversy began gaining attention, supporters started flooding Reebok's social media pages with direct complaints. Some posts went as far as saying, Reebok needs to cancel DJ Carrington's endorsement deal immediately. Music brands closely monitor their social media comment sections, especially when negative reactions begin to overwhelm the positive conversation surrounding one of their athletes.